Now, here, see Dan's on. You can't pay any attention to that. That mother goes live all the time. The chat here anyway. Chat. Oh God, I gotta mute that shit. Here anyway. Chat. Alright, got that taken. Pull that up. Here we go. Wait, no, that ain't right. Got that there. Hey, Lewis! Still trying to get things situated here. Here we go. Now my mouth is moving with the sound. Now I gotta get the chat back up. Here we go. How are you, Lewis? You burning the midnight oil today, are you? Waiting to see if anybody else shows up. Lewis, I mean, we got DW on and Mitch on and you know, maybe you'll be the only one that shows up. I don't know. I know Carla's been bugging me to go live, and then, hey Bama, how you doing? Hey, great to see you, Wendell. Awesome, great to see you. I don't know if you've ever made one of my lives, Bama. So today, I will probably have to repeat this in case and if anybody else comes in, but Erica's on too. I didn't even see that. That maggot, I told him I was going on. Jack, I won't say that. Was he doing his gaming thing or something? Whatever. Yeah, I know, Wendell. Crazy gaming. Okay, man. You know, I used to be all about the video games, Lewis, but to me, flying FPV is the best video game there ever was. You know, I don't know. I don't have a love for it anymore. I know. It's excellent point. Excellent point. It's like at the end of his video today, he says, "Well, I guess I need to get busy on the Baduga build." I'm like, "You idiot! You should have been gotten busy on that a long time ago. You had the parts forever. How long has he had the parts? Easy 2 months. You know, and granted, he had a crappy soldering iron at first. You know, he got very frustrated with the Tyro 99 partly because he had a crappy soldering iron. So, I mean, he's got a good one. Easy 2 months that he's had the parts. Oh, it's been longer than that, hasn't it, Lewis. Yeah, it's been like 6 months since he had all the parts for the Baduga build. So I don't know. I mean, again, it was like pulling teeth to get him to even work on the Tyro 99 because he's getting so frustrated at points. And Baduga build gotta be. I told him Baduga build would be a lot easier because it's a big frame. You don't have to slam 10 pounds of crap into a 5-pound bag, which is basically what the Tyro 99 is, you know? So there you go. But anyway, Mike, aka Night Train FPV, usually does a live at 7 o'clock. And he sent me a message saying he wasn't doing a live because he's sick. His sinuses are all messed up, changing the weather, whatever. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, brother? Well, Jeff, I crashed yesterday and it was ugly. I clipped a tree on the way back from the back 40, and the clip wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. I recovered. But apparently, in the process of doing it, because I clipped it with the right hand side of the bird, here's the bird, by the way. So here's the power connector right here. Battery on top. Well, when I came by the tree, I guess a branch of the tree pulled on the battery lead a little bit. So I had it was still connected a little bit, obviously, because you can see where it spun the drone a little bit. But then I straightened it out. You see me straighten it out, and then all of a sudden my my video goes out. Well, first thing I do, because I'm on the other side of some trees when it happened, first thing I do is hit disarm. It was already disarmed. You know, you don't have to disarm a battery if the battery lead. If you don't have to disarm a drone if the battery lead gets pulled apart. But that's instinct, I guess, to do that. So where I was at, there's no way I could have. Well, it doesn't matter. It was going down because it's not like my VTX died. It had no power. So I mean, even if I had line of sight of the bird, there's no way I could have recovered. I mean, that bird's going down, going down. That's it. No way you can do anything. I kind of, Wendell, I kind of knew at the time, and you're talking about disarm, yes, and that's a good habit to be into. If I don't know, it depends upon the situation, and that takes experience, I guess, because technically, and I've had a buddy that was with me before save a bird of mine before when my goggles would slip down or my glasses would slip down inside my goggles and I couldn't see anymore. And just throttle out and get up high and then fly in line of sight, which I suck at, by the way. Yes, I was diving the trees and back, Jeff. And I was getting out there. I was almost to the lake out back. And coming back. But I came back through and caught that one, caught some scraggle, man. And yeah, scraggle's hell. And I've noticed that the battery connection was a little loose before. So I don't know. It was, and what really pisses me off, Jeff, is that the Firefly, the thing in the blue holder, is if it takes a hard knock, it'll quit recording and it'll blow the file out. The file is gone. It's done that to me twice, but she's kind of, I've got a new frame on the way. As you can see, things are. Let me show it from this angle. A little out of kilter. Those two, the bottom plate and the top plate, are supposed to be horizontal. As you can see, they're not. So I busted the bottom plate. Bottom plate is busted. And hey, Dano, how you doing, brother? Bottom plate is busted, and top plate is all bowed up. So it was ugly. It's actually in better shape than I thought it would be. Hey, Eric, how you doing, brother? Nice splash down there you had. That really blows, Eric. You're really getting a handle of that Tyro 99. You're about ready to really free your mind. We were talking crap about you earlier, Eric, about you finally saying, well, I guess it's time to do the Paducah build. You haven't watched your own video? You had to edit it. You've had to see it like 50 million times already. Really, $50? Hmm. The other thing I need to get a mount printed for it is the Polaroid Cube 2. And actually, Bama FPV, here's Wendell. Wendell turned me on to it, but I still need to get a mount printed for it. So I haven't put it in the air yet. Jeff, the last video of yours I watched is awesome. Man, you say, oh, yeah, nothing special, whatever. Man, every time you fly, I think it's something special. You have, the power line thing. The way you were playing with them power lines was crazy. Lewis, I didn't know you left, but I'm glad you're back, brother. So what's up? Okay, so yeah, okay. So yesterday, when I crashed, was my 5th day in a row flying. So my tale of woe gets worse because I was going to fly again today, knowing that it wasn't going to be Mad Dog. It wasn't going to be this bird. I have the TBS Source 1 frame ordered. It is already ordered. I have not yet gotten notice that it's been shipped yet, but yeah, unscheduled landing. You can call a landing all you want, Ryan. Great to see you, brother. Well, oh, really? You have 2 and 1 new in the box for backup. Well, obviously, you're a fan. I'm a fan too. I hope it adjusts light to light a lot better than the stupid Firefly does. Has it been since March? Eric, you're such a slacker, man. Good grief. Yeah, it just amazes me. Hey, John. Hey, man, a lot of our crap comes from China. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's like what was that in that movie Armageddon, where the one guy goes, "Oh yeah, we're sitting on 10,000 moving parts, blasting off with millions of pounds of fuel underneath us, all with parts made from China from the lowest bidder." Turn the thing on. Really? Well, hey, Erwin, how you doing, brother? Great to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in. I know it's late for you, man. I just had to. Oh, so anyway, so I'm like, okay, I'll go for a 6th day in a row, but it'll have to be with this guy. Okay. So anyway, I take it out back or out the back door, plug in the battery, have the radio switched over to the Mobula 7, whatever. Plug it in, scan, find the channel, locks in on R2. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, awesome. And then hit the switch. I get 10 feet away, and the screen goes to black. No static, just black. So the next thing I do is like, okay, well, let me check the battery voltage on the goggles. And then we're at 14 something. But, I threw a different battery on them. Same thing. So the black screen to me leads me to believe that it's the video wire. No, that is a drone we don't talk about. You talking about that huge thing on the wall, Dano? I do not claim ownership of that thing. That was some of my former roommates. A chick bought that thing. And hey, Anthony, how are you? So I do not lay claim to that drone. I would never have bought that drone. Oh well, I might have bought that drone 3 freaking years ago. Certainly not now. So anyway, I thought you thought it was a fan. Well, I tell you what, it probably makes a better fan than it does a drone, Lewis. I've never flown it. I wouldn't fly that thing in over more than any more wind than a mouse could fart. You know what I mean? Hey, man, mana. How are you, brother? Great to see you, man. So anyway, I don't, so today broke my streak. It would have been 6 days in a row that I flew, and it got broke. I mean, it was too late. I'm hoping it's just because I replaced the board in this thing. I don't know, a couple months ago. Um, uh, who was it? I knew his name. Drone Pool. I'm wearing his shirt. Um, Out of the clear blue, he sent me a soldering iron because I had a really crappy soldering iron. Eric knows how that goes. I think it worked a little better than one Eric had, but anyway, I would have never attempted to change the board in this thing without a new soldering iron. But I'm hoping it's just that when the wires that I soldered from the canopy to the flight controller is thanks for stopping in, Erwin. I really appreciate you coming through. I really do. It's an honor to me, brother. So I'm hoping that just came loose. Because like I said, Rob, hey Rob, hey Brian. Um, so I'm really hoping that's what it was, because like I said, when I took off, I had good video, fine. And I went maybe 10 feet, and all of a sudden the screen went black. So I'm hoping that's what it was, but there was not enough time to try and take it apart. Mike, hey brother, hope you're feeling better. I'm trying to, man. You got hard shoes to fill, brother. But um, so I broke my streak. This is what we do, man. Rob, people have helped me, so I try and pay it forward. Um, because so many have helped me out. It's all I mean, I'd be horrible not to do that. It's a karma thing, man. That's what it's all about. I mean, there are plenty of people here that have sent me stuff. Well, Eric sent me a new frame for the Batman, which I need to work on. And Lewis, I've been horrible about that. Somebody sent me a new motor for a motor I thought was bad, and changed the motor out. Does the same bloody thing. So it's something else, ESC or whatever. Hey, John, how you doing, brother? So I mean, the whole thing is, man, we're just one big family here, you know. And we all have our ups and downs. And when somebody has their up and somebody else has their down, you just turn it around and bring them up from being down. You know, this is how it's supposed to be. Flying family. You know what I mean? Because we are all different people here, but we all love one thing, and that is flying. And that should be the great uniter. It should not be a divider. It should be a uniter because we love that, especially you guys that are FPV, and most of y'all here are. And I'm not knocking the camera guys. They do great work too. To me, a camera bird, I'm too lazy to be a camera guide, person. It's cool to go out there and catch stuff, but you gotta go somewhere to do it. And then I'm sure even them, some of them especially, I know a couple of them. I'd say, "Hey man, you ought to try doing the FPV gig." It's like I'm not trying to tell you to give up your camera bird, but you will never feel more like a bird than when you fly FPV, especially acro. And I know they'll say, "Oh, well, I can see what I'm looking at through my screen." No, dude, it ain't the same. It just isn't the same. Yeah, there you go, Mike. And I know people make fun of the Hubsan, but I will say this about a Hubsan. My brother got me a Hubsan X4 Air, I think it's called, but it actually transmits in 5.8 gigahertz. So I've flown that actually with my goggles, so that's pretty cool. Street bikes and dirt bikes are cool, Rob. But see, the difference is with that. I'll tell you what the difference is with that, Rob, and that is uh, street bikes, especially. Uh, you can die on those through no fault of your own. Just some idiot texting on their phone doesn't see you and pulls right out in front of you or whatever. Yeah, exactly, Lewis. Quit wasting your time on the video games, Eric. You wait till do that when there's a blizzard outside or something. And you know what, Mike? And I've told Eric this. Rigger, how you doing, brother? I've told Eric this a few times. Is that because that's the Source One frame he has, right, Lewis? The See, the only bird Eric has built has been that Tyro 99, and that thing is so you gotta pack so much crap into such a small little space. Eric was getting frustrated just trying to get all the pieces to go together and get all 10 pounds of it's basically 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. There is no issue with that with the Source One. So immediately, Eric, a lot of your frustration would be eliminated due to that, due to the fact you got a decent soldering iron now, plus you have experience soldering, and you kind of know how the things go together now. The first build, what is that? Is this song? The first build is always the toughest. You have both in same. Yeah, wait till a free day. Well, look, man, you don't have to build it all in one sitting. First thing to do is put the bottom plate together and get the motors mounted. How you doing, Birdman? Nice to see you. Don't, Eric, don't look at all the pieces at one time. It's a little daunting. You first put the arms and bottom plate together. Oh, that's right. Dano had neck surgery. I forgot about all that. My apologies, Dana. That's gotta suck. Oh, you like Hubson, do you? Look, be honest, we spent a lot of time making fun of Hubson, but I never had one. And I like my Explorer. I never fly it, hardly. Again, you gotta go somewhere. I did a couple of sunrises. My second one was the best one, but I never worked on the video, never published it. Yeah, exactly. What? Yeah, yeah. He's been waiting for 3 days this far. So you think about that, Eric. It's been March since you've had all the parts, and you haven't done crap with. You might have put part of the frame together. How you doing, Drone Miller? Nice to see you. You just rent you up here so no one messes you up. Kenny, how you doing, Kenny? Hope all is well. I hope you don't have too much of that white crap going on. Thomas, did I see Thomas? Did someone say Thomas? Thomas, I didn't see. Oh, there you are. How you doing, Thomas? Birdman, I don't understand. I'm look, clue me in on a couple things. I mean, I see you flying these little 1S whoops all the time. I never see you fly the Moby. I thought you had a Mobula. Yeah, look, Mike, it always happens. Wind catches you just wrong, the wrong time, and all of a sudden you're sick. Wendell, thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate it. I do. And you have a good night, brother. So for anybody that missed it, Mad Dog 1 is kind of all jacked up because he took an ugly. His battery came loose last night. Not an eject, just a connector. And but there's a big. It's basically what would be a trailer awning. It's about 10, 12 feet by 8 feet. And it's leaning up against the side of the backyard out there in the back 40. And so when I came through the trees, Jeff Freestyle style, and clipped the tree, it pulled my battery cable loose, not off, from the battery. And when I hit the tree, it kind of spun me a little bit, and then I straightened it out, and then that's when the connector came loose altogether. BTX went out, and I mean, I'm on the other side of some trees, so even if I ripped off the goggles, I wouldn't have seen it because there were trees in the way. But then I hear this horrible noise, like wham! It was loud. And like, oh my God, what did I hit? Because the last image I saw, I was kind of heading for the church property, which is next door, and I was just sure I whacked the building over there, you know. So I went and looked real quick, didn't see nothing, so I brought the goggles inside and looked at it on the computer, and I'm like, okay, I don't think I went off the reservation. I think I'm good. So I went back out and looked for it, but by then it's getting dark and nothing. But I saw the piece of metal and I'm like, why isn't it right here? You know? So this morning on inspiration, after taking the garbage out, I'm like, let me just walk back there real quick. Oh, did you, Bria? Well, that's cool. What'd you get? But on inspiration, walked back there. I walked back, looked around at some other pieces of metal it might have hit to make that noise. Because again, you hit metal, it's a distinctive noise. And so that's the first thing I'm looking at. And oh, a spark. You know what, Bria? I'd like to have a spark myself. You know, uh, I might not fly it very much, but unless I went somewhere. But I mean, I've seen some great footy from sparks. But anyway, I walked out back and got around that piece of metal that was like this. And then I kind of looked at trajectory and I'm like, oh, it could have made it over. And there it was laying in the dirt of the church property's yard. Luckily, there was a fence panel down. Actually, it would have never made it into the the church's yard property had the fence not fallen down. And so I crept over there, picked it up, and brought it back inside. So at least I got the bird back. Hey, Essex, how you doing? And it's not a loss. It just needs some rehab. It just needs a little rehab. And you know what really sucks? This stupid Firefly camera does not like a hard knock. It doesn't break. It didn't break it. I'm sure it's fine. But when it takes a hard knock, it quits recording and doesn't save the file. So I don't have footage of the crash. I have the FPV footage, but it blanks out, and I'm looking forward to putting that video up, but I like to have had footy to the moment of impact. That would have been even better. But I busted the frame. I still got my, let's see, you can see the signature from MD95 TSI on there. He put this bird together for me with parts he had and then other parts from other people. So I still got my autographed arm and whatever, and I think I'll just take the X part off, take the motors off, and then hang the X up on the wall. So the MD95 TSI board. So there you go. You know, I thought about that, Lewis, and you know what Eric said? Eric said, is it something JB Weld could fix? So I don't know. Yeah, you got a spark. Look, man, it's not like it's an acro bird. You'll be all right, Brad. Just don't, or Brea. Just don't run into trees. You know, and that's okay, Mike. I'll take that under advisement. I gotta take it apart, man. It's all bent up. Look at how. Let's see. Let me get the strap out of the way. Look at it. It's all jacked up. Look at the look at the look at the stack. You know that used to be level in there. Now it's all jacked up. It's got kind of a racing profile to it now, though, doesn't it? Look, even the top plate is angled. Duct tape it, yeah. Well, you guys know. Let's see. I know Mike probably does. What's his name? He's over in the UK. He uh, he broke an arm or whatever, and he had a it wasn't Slippery FPV. It was a friend that he flies with. They were flying together, and oh, R. Nelson, and he found a piece of aluminum and splinted his arm with that and flew some more. He flew it like that for a while. Through screws. What the hell is a screw? I think it did. The stack looks okay, Mike. It looks like it's soft melted, like crusty little rubber grommets in between the boards and stuff. I think it's okay. I haven't tried plugging it into USB yet. I know it does look aerodynamic, does it, Thomas? It looks like a racer now, all sloped back. And that's a nice bird, Rob, but how often do you fly it? I don't know, man. Once you go to the dark side, it's hard to. I mean, other birds are cool, I could say, but you gotta go. And actually, Rob, you're at where you and Naomi go are some pretty cool spots that would be cool for a camera bird. But you gotta go somewhere. What do you mean by that? Oh, the plastic mounting on stacked stuff. I'm not sure. Hey, and if let's see how to do this. We don't know how to do this. Okay, something's shorted out, Dan. Hey, Dan. Woohoo. Okay, Rob. So you just keep the batteries exercised. Well, I mean, you might go somewhere where you want to use it one day. It makes a Louise. It makes a very it makes a very distinctive smell too. So let's see. I meant to. Let's see how I do this. So in case anybody decides to, what did I do? Decides they want to come in, you're more than welcome to. There's a little linky for you in case you get a wild urge and feel like having something to say. Rob, um, Mike, I know you're sick. You probably sound like shit. Sinuses all, but you know anybody else, Thomas, whatever, whoever. Probably not so much, Brea. But see, just don't run into anything and it won't crack. You'll be fine. Just make sure, don't rush the calibration, do all the bloody updates, all that crap, and make sure it tells you it's ready to fly before you fly it. And the first time you fly it, don't fly it around any obstacles. Just fly it out, in the open. What do you mean you didn't get? What'd you do? Buy it used? Did you buy it used? And in some cases, if it's new, if you bought it new, you have to. I can't remember. I mean I don't have any DJI products, but I've heard it talked about before. And oh yes, very good point, Rob. Very good point. Excellent point, actually. In the settings, Bria, there's a return to home height. So, like, if the battery gets low or whatever, it goes into automatic return to home. It's going to come back to home. But if you don't have the return to height set above any obstacle, you need to have that set higher than any obstacles between you and the bird, because otherwise it'll fly right into. It's going to come home. If there's a tree in the way, it's going to go right into the tree. So, excellent point, Rob. Glad you brought that up because I wouldn't have thought about that. If you have a neighbor that has one, I would strongly recommend that, Brad, because that will help you out immensely, even if it's just once for your maiden flight, whatever. So that shouldn't be a maybe. You should ask him to show you. I would rather it shoot up to 400 feet quad farm than try and return to home at 50 feet when there's 75 foot trees around. Cause you heard him flying around. What was it? Hey, Rob, it was just a crappy GPS drone, but the return to home was set up to a couple 100 feet, and I was just testing out return to home. I didn't know it went to a preset altitude, and uh, I hit return to home, and that thing took off into the air, and I'm like, oh no, what was it? Fly away, fly away. That's what I thought. The first thing that ran through my brain was it was flying away. Yeah, 150. That sounds like a good altitude, Rob. Is that one of your earliest, Rob? Is that when you? No, you probably had a YouTube channel for then when you're doing the gaming stuff. But well, Brad, good luck on your maiden. I mean, it's always exciting to me when somebody else takes to the air, whether it be a camera bird, whatever, even a toy gray, as long as they, fly it and have a successful flight. Looks like that's how you get your feet wet. Well, there you go, Mike. You go with the meters. Let's see, 22 meters, that's like 70 feet. Where do you think you live at, Birdman? You in South Carolina. What's with the meters crap? I get so screwed up on the metric system, it's unbelievable. I know a meter is like roughly a little over 3 feet. Yeah, we got some fairly tall trees around here, Mike, too. And more like 75, 80. We have plenty of 100 footers, but not in my field. Oh, it's North Carolina. I'm sorry. I must be thinking of somebody else. Who the hell else am I thinking of? Yeah, that's where you call in a tree climber, right, Mike? And it was like 20 degrees outside or whatever. I think the highest I've been was like 65 feet in a tree. But once you get above 40 feet, it kind of doesn't matter anymore. Okay, Mike. Rob, let me see if I can pull this off. Open link, a new tab. I got that queued up, Rob, just so I'll make sure I watch it. That might be Carlos. How you doing, brother? Well, you've been urging me to do a live, and Mike wasn't feeling up to whistle stop, so I decided I'd pop in and kind of do it myself. Yeah, but see, yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that. Poor man, it's amazing what you do with those little birds. No, I get it, Carlos. I get it. You know, I look for when I replied to your comment, Carlos. I looked to see if you had any new video up, and you didn't. Ah, sport mode, were And that was the first time you flew it and you had it in sport mode? Well, you being pretty ballsy there, Rob. Yeah, well, that's cool, Carlos. And the thing is, it doesn't matter whether you think it's special or not. It's still cool to put them up there, you know? Because it puts your name out there, because people may have missed your last, you know? Because a lot of times, me, myself, I only look for videos because I rang too many bells. When I click notifications, the list is too long. So I'll go to the subscription page, and unless somebody just posted or unless they've commented on one of my videos, chances are I'll miss a new one they put out. Oh, I got you, Rob. So, I mean, to those that say, "Oh, so and so never stops by my channel or whatever," and that's true with some people, but also, there's a couple things to bear in mind. Is have you been to theirs? Have you commented on one of their videos? Also, when you publish, the time that you publish makes a difference too. He's Phantom, I think. Dr. Drang, how are you? You've never made it to one of my lives, I don't think. Thanks for stopping by, brother. You're like on the other side of the world from me. Dr. Drang is somebody that has really, really made tremendous progress. I mean, he's a flying fool now. And it seems like it was just 6 months ago when he was playing around with a little whoop that he was sticking an all-in-one little camera on top of. Now he's flying all kinds of crazy stuff and doing crazy camera angles too, like 45 degrees, Maddie, trippy flips, and all that kind of stuff. So my hat's off to you, Dr. Drone. Salute. Ah, thank God. I thought I knocked over my beer. Wow, we have 12 people here. That's amazing. I'm good. Have a busted up drone, Doctor. Hey, this bird needs some medical attention. But Indonesia is a long way away. How about jumping on a jet and coming on over? Yeah, right. Hardly, Dr. Drone. I know he does. I know he does, Carlos. I can't keep up with him. And I gotta say, Dr. Drone is a wonderful supporter because I put one up and he's there and he's usually almost one of the first. He's usually very close to being one of the first that's on there. So uh, I love you, Doctor. I appreciate you, man. Hey, just looking. Did you just look at some trees today? Just looking at, hey, just looking. You and Jeff Freestyle, you guys kind of have the same style. You're always looking inside those trees. Well, that's good. Carlos is pretty new to the FPV gig too. He was doing the DJI stuff for a while. He got rid of all his DJI stuff. When did you start flying the DJI stuff, Carlos? Now I'm just watching the chat. Everyone has stuff to say. Somebody else needs to come in here and say something. That's the way it works, Rob. I mean, sometimes people just drop off too. April 21st, 2018. 2018? Oh, that's when you got your DJI drones. When did you do FPV for the first time, Carlos? It hasn't been that long. 6 months, maybe? Who's Jason? Dan. Who's Jason? I must have missed somebody. Oh, crap.
Oh,
I figured I'd stop in for a minute at least, Ed.
look how young Mike looks. He looks like a different Mike. What's up, Ed?
No, not much. Mike, you don't look too bad. You look pretty good.
I feel like shit.
Okay, well, I'll say that every day.
Here's the 6-inch.
Where is my other phone? So I could see
That is very cool looking, Mike. That is a wicked looking beast.
That's the 6-inch beast.
I like the color of the prop first.
That's like Halloween stuff right there, man.
That's
I like
totally tripped. Normally I wouldn't do this, but that mount and everything just went together so well. I had to print it. You got a face.
It almost looks like a picture frame.
That is just too freaking cool right there.
And I put some Zing motors on there, some 1800 kV Zing. Green ones.
That is just too badass looking.
Waiting on this weather to change and feel better so I can go test it out now.
There you go. There you go. Oh, look. I see you're in uniform too, Mike.
Drone cool. I was gonna push it and go for the stream, man, but this afternoon I was like in and out, in and out. I've taken like 6 hours of power naps today.
What do you have? You have a flu?
I got a cold bug going on. We're doing exterior work and it dropped down in like 40s and freezing and frost and everything. And the wind kicking through just got through my clothes enough to get me sick. So 'tis the season. We'll be switching to interior work here in another month.
Yeah,
Are you pretty much year round, or you slow down in the winter?
Oh, I'm full time all year. Yeah,
that's good.
So
we were down to like 60 degrees this morning. I was chilly.
Printing some green for the ghost mount.
Yeah, no, Rob. Look, man, you can make fun of my 60 all day long, Rob, but you know, I ain't built for this shit.
Watching up? Oh, for the 60 degrees?
Yeah.
You need an extra cheeseburger or two in your body. Put some fat on them bones.
Well, I won't dispute that.
So yeah, we need the weather to change. I got this one to test out and the 6-inch to test out. Oh, I won some props this week too.
There's Eric. What's up, Eric? Try to put this where I don't have to get out of screen.
Did you see it splash down, Carlos?
Eric's?
Yeah.
No, did he post that? I have to look. I think he's done 2 that I haven't watched yet.
Got some new Cyclone props to try out on the toothpick.
Uh-oh. What did I do?
Well,
sorry.
So that giveaway on Facebook,
that worked for me.
I won a giveaway on Facebook from whoever, and they were giving away some Cyclone props. I thought it was going to be like a set or something. Dude, I got 4 sets of these.
So you like them?
I haven't tried them yet. I put them on here thinking, oh, they should fit and everything. I've tested them for fit and whatnot, but I haven't gotten a chance to go out and fly her yet because of the weather. So,
were those 4 props?
Yeah, they're 4-blade. They're Cyclone.
4-blade. That's, yeah.
But I won them free this week on Facebook or whatever. So
Wow, how'd you do that? Like on a what
So
page?
one of giveaway things, they said share the post, tag your friends or whatever, and
Right.
so I got 4 sets of those to try out.
That's cool.
They
And
look
that's a toothpick, right?
Yeah, that's a toothpick build there.
2S, 3S, 2S.
2S. It's got a crazy BF4 in it. It's got some 10,000 kV motors.
Oh, wow.
Nano VTX TBS, and then I think it's the Cadex EO8 whatever cam, EOS cam.
How do they handle in the wind? You don't have to worry, really?
Dude, I was flying this thing in like 20-mile-an-hour winds, and it
Nice.
gets to some points where if you're going against the wind directly or something, it'll slow you up or whatever, but it really
Right.
doesn't have so much effect on these little things. They're so small and quick that
Cool.
it didn't have a whole lot of effect on it, really.
So Dr. Drone has a question for you, Mike. He wants to know what you think the best VTX is.
Personally, I use TBS Unify whenever I can. I like the 800 milliwatt or better, and they've always been solid. I've never really had an issue with the TBS ones. The other ones I burn up quicker or get video issues with or like that, but the TBS I really don't have any issues with. But I've got AKK, I've got a Tramp, I've got, what else? HGL RC VTX, I've got the TBS Nano, Unifies. I pretty much run everything, but the Unify has been my favorite. That's what my go-to is the Unifies.
TBS Unified. Thank you very much. Yeah, Dr. Drone, he does a video a day at least, maybe 2.
Yeah,
But he's
and-
gone from like trash can to big quads in a quick hurry.
Yeah, and he just recently put up a video with the TBS Unify VTX up. And he was getting great penetration through the trees, and then he played with the power lines, and his signal went crappy, but it could have been his antenna getting loose or something.
This runs the TBS Unify 800 milliwatt HV, and this is the one that I did that tower run from underneath the Brando build, all that steel structure.
That was a while back, though, right? 2 or 3
Yeah,
months.
that was a few months
Yeah,
ago, whatever, with me and Adam. But yeah, this has no problems getting that distance or whatever. And I'm just on standard like antennas on my goggles too. I'm not even on the high decibel patches or anything like that on my goggles. I'm just standard antennas on my goggles with the True D, not even rapid fire.
Our FXT goggles are limited, Ed. We can't really add anything to it.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of the box goggles is they're conformed. You can't do a bunch of add-ons and changing receivers and things like that.
What it is.
Higher end power push. That's why
maybe one day next year I'll invest in the what do they call it, the Fat Shark, and just get the diopters.
These are the
special lenses.
Attitude V4s. These are $350. They come with the receiver, and they've got the fan. They've got DVR on them. They're the smaller field of view, but for $350 versus $500 for your HD3s or whatever, I went with these with my first set, and I haven't had any issue. I put the True D patch on or diversity module into it and just run it. It runs great.
And what brand was that?
That's a Fat Shark Attitude V4s.
Gotcha.
They were like an anniversary edition a few years back. Now they're probably less than $350. Now that they've got those HD5s out or whatever, or the Attitude V5s. Those
Attitude, yeah,
ones with the HD, that's the new ones of those, the upgraded version. It's just an HD screen and whatnot. It didn't seem like it was that much for another $150, but something like that will probably be my next set when I end up investing.
Do they last, Fat Shark?
Dude, I've been running that set for 3 years.
Okay.
I've never had an issue with them, man. The biggest issue that I've had with the Fat Shark is the receiver module, the bay. Sometimes if you bump it funny or this or that, they'll try to pop out because they're just a clip-in plastic clip that holds that receiver in. So if you're careful with them, you're all right. But I've done where I've go to put my darn head strap over my neck strap on or whatever and hook that thing and pull it off to the side or this or that, and you have to reset it back in. Or other than that, I haven't had any issues with it though.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll see next year.
Clumsiness, that's what that comes down to. Don't be clumsy with it. Be careful. They're pretty good, but yeah, I've had them sitting around, and I don't know, 3 years I've never had an issue with them. No fan issues, no DVR issues, nothing. They record great, everything.
Nice.
What
Well, I gotta say,
DVR did you see on my channels from those?
I've never really had any issues with my Vipers, you know, and
there's no issue, but we're limited with what we can do. We can't put any modules in there and add anything.
You're not going to be going long range so much with those Viper goggles.
Okay.
With the Attitudes or Fat Sharks or something like that. You're going to be able to change up for a better penetrating module that acts better and diversity.
And you don't have to go far, but I like the penetration factor.
The true diversity in a goggle like the Fat Sharks, it's 2 modules, whereas a lot of times when you get the goggles like you've got, they've got 2 antennas, but it's not a true diversity. It's just 1 module and going with the better antenna versus switching between the 2 modules. So
I think it does. I think it is true diversity, but I wouldn't bet a paycheck on it.
I think it is on the FXTs.
Mike, Dr. Jones says, which antenna or what antennas are you using on your goggles? I know I use the triple patch.
Here in the trailer park, I usually run, I've been running a patch and whatnot, but I started running this one. That's the Ion from Voss.
Omnidirectional?
Yeah, it's an omnidirectional, and that's just a TBS Triumph. That's what I run on mine. And if I run a patch, I've been running the, it's the, shoot, what one is it?
Is it Tracer or whatever?
It's the Menace patch.
Menace, that's the one I have. I have a Menace.
Menace Invader.
I have the Menace Omni.
Okay, I have an issue with that.
And I have that one too, but I don't generally run it because the darn antenna length is so much, it kind of flops around more, gets in the way more. So I've gone, the Menace works just as good as that one. So I figure if it's going to work just as good and it's more compact, then I like it better. So.
No, I don't really remember that, Eric. You know, I think you're pulling stuff out your butt.
Don't pull any punches, Ed. Don't hold back.
No, if he had told me he couldn't see his battery voltage in the of the goggles, I would have said, wait a minute, we got to fix that. Yeah,
you definitely need voltage in your goggles, man.
Believe it or not, I can't do that with my my Chameleon. With the, what is that? The Runcam Split, I think it has. I have nothing.
Your camera itself should be able to pull it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't allow it.
Then you should.
And I even checked. I checked
what flight controller are you running in it, Carlos?
I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry.
most likely, there's a way to get voltage onto your OSD.
No, I went through this.
Controller should have it. If your flight
RC Jim, have you ever heard of that name? Some
RC dude?
Some RC guy, and he was doing a whole, what do you call it, review on the camera. And I asked him, does it give you OSD? And he goes, no, not for voltage at least.
Huh.
So I fly my quad by time, and then it does this buzzing sound when the battery's dying. And then I know.
Timers, that helps. There's some way to pull it from your flight controller, depending on the flight controller. Some flight controllers won't have voltage though, but there's some way to pull voltage from it. There's a lot of tricks. There's so many different ways to do some of these things that half of the stuff is like, if you don't go through and discover it, or catch it in a Bardwell video or something like that, you never know it was possible.
I look into the flight controller.
It's just like they say the XM Plus won't do RSSI. But
yeah, XM Plus will do RSSI.
I know, and I got it working on it.
Yep.
I got it working on it.
Update it and put that wire across, and you'll be good to go. Yeah. Bardwell's got a video that's got 5 different ways to get your telemetry through on different receivers that you're not supposed to. Like the XM Plus, you can get telemetry now if you update it and everything else. So yeah, there's ways of doing it. A lot of stuff with Betaflight has changed so much that they're pulling more into what's capable of the quads now, as far as little things, you know.
More options.
They're not big changes. They're little changes to keep everything exciting for everybody so they stay interested, basically, because they don't have any big changes.
So on Mitch's channel, they're talking about new FAA rules, this, that, and the other. Are you going to have to take tests in your different states?
I haven't heard yet if we're going to, but I'm recreational registered already, and I don't have a problem taking a little test area. Like our local flying field that we've got over here, if I want to go fly over there, I have to be FAA, or I have to be AMA registered, and I have to take their little flight test or whatever on their field, or they won't even let you fly on it. So I don't have a problem with it. Just like going down to take your big 107 and stuff like that, there may be some actual flight tests that you'll have to do coming up with that and whatnot. I don't have a problem with flying around a little bit line of sight or this or that, or using my.
You have 107?
No, I don't. I'm planning on getting it. I want to get training. I want out.
They were just saying, dude. They were saying, Steve, you know who Steve Carpenter is?
Mm-hmm.
He said that it's a 50% drop off in his state of re-registering 107s. And I don't think it's because of the rules. I think it's because the market's oversaturated and everybody thought they were going to make money doing roof inspections.
You gotta have some good knowledge, or have some flight time, or someplace.
No, but I think it's lack of interest now that people, they know that 30 people are now doing the same job.
Whenever everybody wants to get some drone footage or whatever, and people will just be knocking on my door. Hey man, can you fly for me? And no, you actually got to get out there on your feet and go out there and time the work. You know what I mean? You're not going to get away with some easy shit. You're going to have to go hunt down some leads. And I got a couple people here in the local area that do 107 work though. So if I get my 107, he said he can help me get a good start and whatnot with some companies around doing some things. And you're doing inspections of power lines or the windmills and radio towers and stuff like that in the local area.
I just want to address what RC Crazy said. He goes, that's dumb. Just fly wherever I want. But he lives in the woods. So it's not like in the city.
Always a back road within a few miles. Yeah, just take it. Go through the woods.
I mean, that's what I do now. I go to the local park, and I haven't heard anybody really tell me anything. But it's a whole different, where I live. I always say that he lives in Little House on the Prairie, New York, and I live more in Law and Order, New York.
Well, I mean, Carlos, do you have your 336?
I don't have a 123. I don't have anything. What's a 336?
Well,
what's 336?
That bigger bird that you fly.
I don't fly a big bird. But yeah, go ahead. The other guy that flies that big bird, what about him?
That other guy that flies, if your bird weighs more than 0.55 pounds,
you have to register it.
You don't have to register the bird. You have to register.
You have to register yourself. And each
I'm registered for another 2 years.
Has to be labeled with your registration number now.
That I don't have.
You have to.
I'm registered, but not the number.
I'm supposed to have it on every one of these little quads over here, but I don't.
Do you?
No, I don't. I don't have it on one of them. I don't even have it on my radio or nothing, man. I got it in my pocket. It's got my card. If a cop stops me, here's my registration, man. That's all I'm doing.
What I have. That part I have.
Actually, the little birds don't have to have your
under 0.55, we don't have to, but most.
Is that the same as 250 milligrams, right?
Grams.
No, grams.
0.55 grams all the way up to 55 pounds. And then 55 pounds and over, you have to have pilot license, like registered. Over 55 pounds is an actual aircraft.
Yeah, I'm not going to be flying anything like that. But no, that guy that flies in those parks, he doesn't have to.
He was doing that stuff way before the days of RC control came in. I
registered my Spark and Mavic Air.
There's
Sorry.
never been a big problem with all these planes flying and RC planes and this and that. I never heard any of these issues. But no,
Now that Amazon wants to do delivery of
now we got to
pizza,
have FAA, and now we got to have 107, and now we're going to have to register, and now we're going to have to take a ham radio license because we use goggles. And
that's Amazon and Walmart and UPS. It's all their fault.
the United States Postal Service has the first one so far, totally conglomerated for on-campus deliveries right now. Yep, they're actually in use already.
Wow.
Yep, doing like on-campus type, like for major campuses and whatnot, delivering a medical whatnot.
Okay. But now, can you see when it gets wintertime and you're in a cold state, right?
Oh yeah.
Can you see
Yeah.
a drone fly in the cold weather?
I have 50 degrees. I don't see him doing a whole lot of deliveries in some of the cold weather we fly, because I'll tell you what,
No.
I won't stand out there, especially if I'm in delivery. You know what I mean? I can see some of it, but yeah, those drones can't take it. The DJIs ain't gonna handle like my drones are gonna. My race quads handle way better. You know what I mean?
Right.
More control over what you can do with them, and yeah, DJI, yeah, too much.
Plus,
don't see it
they're
happening.
self-warming.
What'd you
Yeah.
say, Ed?
I said they're self-warming. You start ripping around and they gonna warm up.
Oh, yeah.
That battery
Somebody
ain't
came up-
gonna get cold when
Yeah,
you're pulling
You see, you don't even really get frost on the lenses that much. You get a little bit of fog when you land, and it starts cooling off and changing the temps. You put it in the car to go take the battery off, and your lens is fogged. But you just got to
Right.
remember to wipe every time you get ready to go fly again.
Rain-X. Have you ever tried Rain-X?
The Rain-X helps a little bit. Not in the wintertime, it won't. It won't do shit
No.
for you in the wintertime. But during the summertime, it helps a little bit. But
Gotcha.
generally, it's not enough to worry about. A little bit of wipe or even a little bit of saliva.
That's what I do. Well, no, I haven't really flown really
That's what
cold.
they use
40
when they're
degrees.
diving, right? Divers all the time.
Exactly,
And all that. They spit in their lens, wipe it in there. That saliva actually coats it better than anything. Yep. Keeps
Right.
it from fogging. Yeah, a little bit of saliva, wipe it off real quick. I'm not a lens licker. I'll lick my finger and wipe
Oh,
it.
yeah. I never put my tongue to the lens. I've heard people say that. I lick the lens. I lick a finger. And I even bring myself a, what do they call that? Microfiber. Little, what do you call it? Towel, and I wipe it with that.
I got one in my fat shark case. I carry with me.
Right.
Yeah, but who has time for all that? Just lick your finger
See?
and take a shirt.
No, I lick the because I get a better clean with the microfiber. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's microfiber, yeah.
You usually end up getting fingerprints or oil marks or something like that if you just use a finger, or
Yeah.
get the lint all over it from using your shirt or something like that. Sometimes depends on. If it's a brand new shirt, you'd probably be all right, but older shirts are a little more worn or something may not be so. I mean, look at this one. I'm gonna have to get Dan to send me a new one. The letters are already starting to come off this thing. Starting to wear right out.
Don't wash it in hot water and let it air dry.
First of all, John, you come over and spot for me, you might get a cold beer. That's about it. You can forget $50.
All right, Ed, I'm dropping off of here, man. I'm gonna go get me another dose of medicine and a warm coffee.
Later, Mike.
I'll be
Thanks
listening.
for
But
coming in, man. I appreciate it.
I'll be listening.
All right, man.
So Ed, tell me, why is your quad broken? Is this the one where you had to look for it the next day?
Yes, it is. So I was doing a little Jeff Freestyle stuff. And I
Jeff
went out.
Freestyle. Okay,
He does trees,
gotcha.
as does Just Looking likes to do trees. And
No,
everybody,
that's slow. He's good, just looking.
everybody likes to do trees, but not to the extent that those two characters do.
Right.
And so anyway, Jeff, I blame it on Jeff. It's Jeff's fault.
Peer pressure.
He kept telling me, man, you need to go back there and do them trees some more.
Mhm.
Hey, explicit. Come on in if you want to, brother. And so anyway, I was doing a little bit. Now this is the 5th day in a row that I've flown this bird. Okay. And each day I kept getting a little crazier and crazier, you know. So I went way on back. And I'm coming back and I'm zooming back home pretty good. And I clip a tree. Well, when I clip the tree, and it's not bad, it just, I'm coming in, you know, and I just clip it and it just rocks it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I straighten it out. And about the time I get it straightened out, I lose video.
Uh-oh.
And what happened was, not only did I lose video, when I bumped that tree, it knocked the battery connector loose. It didn't knock it off all the way. It was still connected enough for me to correct my direction of travel. But then that's when it came loose.
Gotcha.
And when I lost VTX is when the bird lost power. So it was going down. And then 2 seconds later or a second later, I hear this loud bam.
Hit something metal.
I knew it had hit metal.
Yeah.
Whether it was a truck, a camper, a piece of sheet metal laying around on the ground, I didn't know.
Did you know the general area?
Huh?
Did you know where approximately where it hit?
I wasn't sure if it was on the reservation or at the church property next door. And my first fear was it was the church property next door.
Why is that a fear? Oh, because you have to wear a hard hat when you go to church, right? Just kidding.
No, it's just because there's this heavy bird coming down at high velocity and it could have hurt somebody.
Oh, okay. I thought you were worried about getting lightning struck or something, maybe.
No, nothing like that. You know, and the loud bang was disconcerting.
I hear you.
But I went and looked for it, and you know, but I mean, it was getting dark, and I see. Here's the thing: when I don't know if you've ever done this, but when you play back the DVR on the Viper,
Goggles. Yeah.
on the it can be a little confusing how to get there in the first place. So you actually
press in once. No, first you do DVR long press.
Right.
With the start and stop button.
But I've done that menu before and gotten in pressed the wrong number of clicks or whatever, and all of a sudden it's wanted to erase the video.
So
and
just turn it off.
Oh, no, don't do that, because I accidentally did that one.
I just turn it off if I get confused and start all over.
And that's what I did.
Good.
But even reviewing it through the goggles is not the same as putting it into your computer and watching it. Because with a computer, you can pause it and shit.
Yeah.
You can do that with the goggles. So I came back inside and downloaded the SD card and got a better idea of where it was heading when I lost the juice.
Gotcha.
And then I went back out, but by then it's getting dark. And it's a dark bird. I mean, you know, there's nothing much bright on this. I mean, the blue is kind of showing up now, but that's because there's lights in here, you know? And the weeds were tall back there. So what I did was I looked around at pieces of metal that would make that noise.
Well, but that's a lot of the reservation, as you call it. It has all kinds of metal.
Now that's about viable point. Yes, it is. But there was this one piece of metal, and basically it's the awning off a trailer, or what would be the shaded porch of a trailer. It's like 10 feet wide and about 18 feet long.
Wow.
And it's leaning up against something, so it's at an angle like this. So what I envisioned was the bird hitting it like this and then falling down.
Mm.
You know? Well, I looked all around there. I looked around the camper and stuff too that could have made that same kind of noise. Anyway, I gave up. I'm like, okay, that bird's spending the night outside. So this morning, I went to wheel the recycle bin out the driver. I'm just going to walk back there a minute. I watched the video before I did it. Watched it again. The little trim I made of the end of the flight. And got a better idea which way it was heading. And I still looked in the wrong place. And lo and behold, I came around back to that piece of metal that was leaning like that. And I'm like, man, I know that's what it hit. And then I looked over, and there in the churchyard, between where the fence line is and the first building, laying right there in the dirt, right in the middle, about halfway in between the property line and their building, there it was, laying in the sand. So I crept over, picked it up, and walked back into the yard, you know. So the only way it made it there was because that fence panel was down. And so what it did was when it hit that angle,
Right.
instead of hitting it and falling down, it hit
Spit
it
it up.
woo,
Oh, like a ramp. Yeah.
yeah, like a ramp. It ricocheted right off of it and then flew out in that field.
And you hit a branch. That's what brought you down to begin with.
I nicked the branch.
Okay. I mean, but all right.
I clipped it, but it must have grabbed the battery wire and pulled it loose. Or either that or it just worked loose, but it happened right after I clipped the tree.
So it's does it start up or it's no good?
Oh, I haven't tried plugging it in yet.
Really? Wow.
Look, man, it's kind of look. I don't know if you can get a good visual. Let's see if it'll get in there close enough.
I could see some
See
wires.
how the stack is and how it's all kind of jacked up. I just feel like it bears closer inspection before I stick the juice to it.
All right.
I mean, Chris built it. I'm trying to see if I can hold it right. There on the back, there are rubber spacers between the boards on there.
Mm-hmm.
And
excuse me.
I'm just not sure if something's squished down on something between the capacitor and all that. So I just want to give it a closer inspection before I plug it in. But I think it's okay. I think it's mainly just the frame is beat to hell.
Gotcha. No cracks though? Is the frame cracked?
Oh, it's broke.
Oh, it's broke. Oh, okay.
You can't look, dude. Okay. You can't tell from that. Look at that.
I thought it was just like, souped up in the back. No?
That's because the bottom board is cracked up. The bottom plate is cracked up.
I gotcha.
The top plate is actually bowed. Now, maybe it would straighten out. Let's see if I can get a good side shot. Camera's backwards. This is hard to do. But you can even see a bow to the top plate. But see how the bottom plate is and how the top plate is?
Right.
They're supposed to be parallel with each other.
That's why I said it looked souped up.
Yeah, exactly.
A 22-degree angle. I gotcha.
I mean, it'd look cool. It'd be cool looking if it was supposed to be like that.
That sucks.
Neil, hey, brother. So anyway,
but it makes you a better pilot. Now you can tell people you were flying because you crashed.
Look,
I still don't buy that one, but anyway, that's just me.
Well, here's the deal. Okay, yes, I did clip the tree. This is true. But I still say the crash was not my fault.
Not the tree's fault.
Look, man, I'll be the first one to say I screwed up. And I mean, actually the flight before, which I haven't put up yet, I mean, that crash is totally my fault. Most of my crashes are totally my fault.
I've never had one that wasn't my fault, personally.
Well, in the end, you can always say it was your fault. Okay, I shouldn't have clipped the damn tree. But people clip trees all the time. We see half these people in here, they've cut a branch off or two
They
and
fly
kept
through it.
on flying, you know?
Yeah.
So, but if your battery, if all of a sudden someone turns the ignition off, well, you're going to crash.
Ed, some gentleman or somebody here is asking, do any of you know what happened to Michael McReynolds? I do not.
Don't know, C-Dubs. I wish I knew. I haven't tried. I feel Eric.
What's up,
kind of brought that to my attention, and I'm worried about him. I need to send him a message because I've thought about him a few times, and I think he could use some love.
Michael is in the hospital.
I hope he's not deceased.
Is he sick? Like, I don't know.
If not, I think he oh, he is sick.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's not deathly sick, Eric. I need to send him a message now. You say that. Thank you for reminding me. And I think it was you that brought up the fact that you hadn't seen him in a while. So I feel bad for him, you know. All us old fuckers, man, when we get old, man, you know, we worry about people that are our age or older.
Is McReynolds our age?
Huh?
Is Michael McReynolds our age or close?
I think he's a little older.
Than you?
Why do you say that with such disbelief? Yes,
because you're older than me. No, I'm saying older than me, older than you, because you have like 7 or 8 years on me. I'm just kidding. I'm right behind you, Ed. I'm right behind you. I'm right there next to you.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, 3 years, when you get to be my age, 3 years is a lot. I'd love to be 57 again.
I hear you.
You know? I don't know. I tell you what, I am quite pleased with myself for flying 5 days in a row, though. So.
Oh, that's great.
How many times you been 29, Mike?
Yeah, right.
I tell everybody I just turned 20 in April, except it's for the 3rd time.
Huh. I have 2 April boys. What day is your birthday on April?
Huh?
April what is your birthday?
Oh, that's private information, man. I don't know. Yeah, I could lose
private. Holy cow!
April 9th.
Big deal.
I am right in the middle. Prop gear. Oh my God. So great to see you, man. I can't even believe you're here. I feel very honored. Prop gear is a flying fool. Apparently, he's been doing this shit for a while, too. Oh, is it really, Mike? Oh, that's cool. See, the thing is, about April 9th, we are dead ass in the middle of Aries. You know,
I thought it was the 21st or 22nd. There's the cusp or whatever they call it.
That's when it starts.
Oh, okay.
When you're on the cusp, it means you're on the edge of another sign. So you have traits of both. But I am dead ass in the middle of Aries, which means I'm a pyromaniac for one. That's a fire sign.
Gotcha.
But dang it, you're so bad, Lewis.
And the funny part is, You know Baduga's other account name of all things.
Yeah, but dude has like three. At
Does he?
least.
I know. I only know of two.
There's the good troll. There's the, or maybe that's somebody else. There's something about good in there.
Yeah, that's him.
Now, Prop Gear, he's one of these fixed wing guys. He flies quads too, but he tries to make his planes fly like a quad. In other words, he hovers them around, walks them like a dog, and all kinds of stuff.
That's cool.
He made me want to. He made me want to try a fixed wing again, just seeing the way he flies.
You don't have room for a fixed wing, Ed.
I do the way Prop Gear flies.
Oh, okay.
He takes that bird up and then he just walks it around. Tells it, I mean, he can literally walk behind it and walk it like a dog, like he has it on a leash or something. It amazes me. Did you? What'd you win, bruh? So now you got two turns. Well, now you got a free one that you can crash before you crash the spark.
Yes. Oh, yeah. She was in what's the name's channel? Old Man and the Drones. She wants to get a
Was
spark.
he over
Maybe
there?
she was earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I get mixed up with the other guy because they're both old guys.
Well, that's him, Mitch and Old Man and a Drone, same person.
I know they're the same person. There's
So who
another.
do you mix them up with? Grumpy?
Do what?
You mix them up with Grumpy Vlogger?
No, it's somebody else.
He just, I think he just timed himself out.
There's the friendly troll. That's
No
crazy.
trolls allowed to.
So, Baduga's playing around, Eric's playing around. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey.
What time is it? 9 o'clock.
I did not believe you were real. Brea, 3 trolls in a row. Well, some guys are into what do they call it? Self-mutilation, Mike.
Yeah, really.
So, you flew today, Carlos?
No, 2 days ago. I had
Can we
work
have,
today.
let's have a hands up of anybody who has flown within the last 2 days. We'll give it 2
When did
days.
I fly? It was 2 days ago, maybe 3.
Yeah,
I think I've
flew.
only flown once in 2 weeks.
There you go. No bird left behind, Prop Gear. Who was it? There was some guy. I'm trying to think of who it was. They were doing the old fishing line with the weight on the end. So they were casting it up to get their bird out of the tree. And casting it up, and I guess the weight wrapped around a branch or something. So they were snatching on it to get it back out. It came free. And that pyramid weight came back and smacked him right in the damn hand and broke 2 of his fingers. He had to go to the emergency room.
That sucks. I think John flew line of sight. That flying is flying.
Of course it counts, John. Any flying counts. Why are you saying me, Captain? I missed something.
I think he said
Or
me. He flew.
What you that broke your fingers with the weight, Captain?
Ed, did you say hello to Mrs. RC?
No, I did not. Oh, there she is. Hi, Tiff. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Oh, really? Doing a competition? Let's see. See, that would be cool. If I wanted to order, I might have a van include. Well, you couldn't do that very well. My name on, like, or a bucket truck with a cabin on it.
With a cabin?
Love my drones. Rescue recovery team here.
Sidewinder just joined your chat. You heard Ed?
What? No.
Sidewinder just joined your chat.
Oh, no, I did not. Hey, Sidewinder, how you doing, brother? You still haven't tried to get your password reset? What the hell, Sidewinder? So what'd you fly, Captain? Inquiring minds want to know. How about that change in temperature? Well, I guess all you people up north have had change in temperature for a while, but
it's cool. 60s.
We had a cold front come through last night. I call it cold. It's more like a cool front. But a line of thunderstorms came through and stuff.
We got a lot of wind.
Yeah.
Heavy wind today. 25, 30, gust up to, I don't know, 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's pretty strong. Yeah, that's the other thing. Prop years, it's gonna happen. Dragged it out of the tree. Got blown in the tree. The last video I watched that prop year, I think it was the Piper S video, sneak peek, I think you call it. Well, first of all, the first half of the video is of you flying your fixed wing, walking the dog, as I was talking about. And then the Typhoon. That's a cool looking bird, by the way. Then the Cub comes out, but you could tell you were telling the guy, watch out for the wind, whatever. And I could see the wind taking one of those guys.
I think they're just foam.
Yeah. The Typhoon's pretty cool, Captain. So where'd you fly it at?
I think he lives in the middle of nowhere, so he can fly just about anywhere.
He's in South Carolina.
No, I know, but he's like in the middle of nowhere, South Carolina.
And but he's right on the coast. I know, but what count was in your old channel, Sidewinder? The only reason you started this one was because you got locked out of your other one.
I think I recently subscribed. Yep.
Minding a toothpick. So you built you a toothpick, did you? The toothpicks seem to be all the rage these days. I guess it's the people flipping out about the 250-gram thing. So they're trying to make smaller birds that'll act like a big bird. Is that what it is?
The ET-115s, they're just like a toothpick, I think, for the most part.
It's just the frame is different.
Yeah, but I mean,
the ET seems more like a Whoop. And I think...
Yeah, well, what is a toothpick? A toothpick is a Whoop without prop guards.
I know. It kind of seems like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's all. That's why I have one of the ETs. I cut the prop guards off.
Oh, I know. And I like the look, too. It looks a lot better through the FPV cam, but...
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of like kind of makes you think like the difference between NASCAR and open wheel racing. In a way.
I don't know what open wheel racing is.
Okay. Well, you know how in NASCAR they do the bump and grind with each other, and you don't do that with open wheel. Usually with open wheel, if you brush another car, your day is done because it's a big wreck.
It flips. Are those the ones with the spoilers in the back? The big spoilers?
Yeah, yeah, on the front. So I mean, it's kind of the same, but in a way, it's not the same because you see guys whacking trees all the time with race drones, you know, with 5-inch birds and whatever, and they just chop their way on through and keep going, you know. The way it seems like sometimes, you know.
The Typhoon is big. I've seen that.
Yeah, the Typhoon is big.
6 props. 6, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about that part. And the cool thing about that too, as long as everything works right, you lose a motor, it'll still
It flies
fly.
with 5. Yeah.
The only, what do they call that? They call that a hexacopter.
Hex, right?
I think, Captain, you'll have to answer that question for sure. I know there is such thing as a hexacopter, but I get mixed up on what 6 is. Because I've seen them where they have 5 arms too.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, so what's hex? Oh, that would be I guess penta is 5. Like pentagon. So hex would be 6, yeah.
I used to have a hexagon fish tank. Same thing.
Okay, all right, Mike, I get it. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I guess it's not the same, but, you know, I've flown my mobile and people didn't even know I buzzed over their head, you know.
But doesn't it also depend on the props? Some props make more noise than others. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, no, you're right. And especially if you dinged them up a little bit, they tend to make more noise.
Because my Chameleon makes hardly any noise flying. The Schizo makes a lot of noise. When you freaking rev the motors, it screams.
I wonder if that's the sound of the props or the sound of the motors themselves.
I think combo of both.
And not only that, the pitch of the prop and
Right.
stuff like that can affect how the motor sounds when it goes full speed. So
Right.
if you over pitch your prop, it's lugging the motor and making it strain to turn it. So the motor's going to make more noise.
Mm-hmm.
So
Makes sense.
so much stuff that goes into this. And I hear people talk about, oh, I tried these props and that prop. They play with pitches and all that. See, I suck at doing all that.
I have a question for Night Train. Night Train, have you put 5-inch props on a 6-inch frame? So I know you can do that also. You don't necessarily need a 6-inch prop. I don't think there's such thing as a 4-inch, right?
Yes, there is.
Is there?
And all that means is look, a 5-inch quad does not mean it's 5 inches.
No, it's the prop
It means
side.
it runs 5-inch prop.
Yeah.
So like Mike's saying he runs 5.5 on it. What does that mean, Mike? Does that mean that the props are 5.5
The length.
diameter? Because
So from end to end?
they're talking about the circle it makes, not necessarily the blade length.
Well, no, doesn't the blade length have to do with the circle?
The circle that the prop makes is what the length is.
Yeah, but the circle is made by the prop length.
Yes, but it takes a, let's see if I'm wording this right. Maybe I'm wrong. I was thinking that, never mind.
The length of the props decides the length of the circle.
Yeah, yes, it does. I
I
was
would
off
think.
I was off on a tangent somewhere. I don't know where I was going.
Right, radius and diameter.
Man, I was going to say something about.
Don't get technical there. Keep it
I
simple.
know, and that's the problem. I'm starting to get too technical. What I was going to say, I got the circle thing mixed up with the amount of strain from the prop. So a two-blade, for instance, a two-bladed prop is going to have, for the same pitch, it's going to have less pull on the motor than a three-bladed or four-bladed prop of the same pitch, because there's more surface area pushing down. But to
Makes
me,
sense.
it just seems like a three-bladed or more prop is more likely to be better balanced versus a biprop. A
Really?
biprop balancing is probably far more important than on a tri.
Yeah. I get that. More dirty air. I
More
guess
dirty air with what?
with more blades, probably more blades, more dirty air, or the opposite. I don't know.
Or maybe
Explain. Can you explain quad farm? More blades, more dirty air. Okay, yeah. Because you have more.
You know what's weird, Rob, is I've never flown biprops on a race drone before. I've flown most of the earlier brushless drones I had were all biprops. Most every drone I ever had were biprops until I got my Manus 85. And then it came with 3, and so I never tried to. And a lot of I tried 3-bladed props on some of my drones that came with biprops, and they sucked. And I stuck with the biprop. But with the race drones, I don't know. It's just different. I figured that they would have sent them with kind of the best props that worked for them. And so that's what I stuck with. I didn't play around too much.
Is dirty air the air that comes off the props, the going down? Would that be what dirty air is? I think that's what I see crazy.
Prop wash.
Right? That's the air coming down. Dirty air?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the answer, Ed, RC, Eric. And then prop wash is what? That wobbling or?
Well, like if you come out of a flip or a roll,
it's what causes prop wash. Okay.
Try and calm down, and you'll see the bird weeble wobble.
Right.
And I mean, Birdman was doing a lot with one of his, and we all get it at times, and it's really because you didn't complete the maneuver, really, because at the end of the day, when you come around a flip, ideally you should still keep moving forward, and that keeps you from being in that screwed up air from a second ago. Whereas if you freak out and level off and you settle back down, and then you're all back into that turbulent stuff. Always forward, or else backwards. Get out of where you just stopped your maneuver, basically. And I've seen this thing, I freak out and I do this because I'm still a noob, I've been doing this for a while, but I don't do that many packs with that much frequency, and till you get rusty, whatever, as they say. And it's all about the pack.
Or the shaky thumbs.
Yeah. Well,
I know that one.
when we fly a different spot, like Saturday, I was flying a different spot and having too much caffeine and whatever. And the first pack was the worst. You could really tell it. When I went back over the footage and you hear the bird. Oh, the bird sounds funny. Oh, that's your fingers shaking on the throttle. No, you're right about that, Mike. Smoother throttle, and and that's the other thing about packs is airtime really helps with the throttle.
You know
and
what else is?
Move forward. When you're moving forward, the throttle is actually easier because the throttle is doing two things. It's doing altitude and forward motion.
I thought the pitch was that.
When you stop and you hover, the throttle is just doing elevation. It's not doing forward speed, so it's a lot more touchy. Does that
Throttle
make
doesn't give you forward. It's the pitch and throttle.
when I know, but that's what I'm saying about moving forward. When you're pitched forward more, your throttle is also forward propulsion and up, because you don't have to have any pitch at all and you can still throttle up and up you go.
But not forward.
Forward at the same, when you do that throttle, you're not just going up, you're also going faster forward. And that's why I'm saying the throttle control is easier when you're moving forward, pitch forward. Because it's doing two things instead of just one.
Well, what does the throttle do other than go forward?
Do what?
The throttle just keeps you up.
No, that's incorrect. Once you pitch, once you pitch forward, that throttle is up, yes, but it's also forward.
How can it be forward?
If you just go up and hover and you pitch that forward throttle, that forward pitch, guess where you're going?
Forward.
No, you're going in the ground.
No, you should be able to keep your stick in one position and pitch it forward and keep that one height.
Oh, no, bullshit.
Ask these guys.
I strongly disagree. Yes, in stabilized mode, yes.
No.
If you set your bird to hover and you have the throttle at hover, okay, as soon as you pitch forward, that same amount of throttle is also having to propel it forward, which means that your angle has changed. Those props are now not going to give you as much lift because they're also pushing you forward. You will descend in altitude. There's no way
you have to give it a little bit more throttle.
There's no way you don't have to adjust. Add more throttle to keep the same elevation. Am I wrong?
Well, no, you have to give it a little bit more throttle to go forward. But there should be a leveling point, no?
No, accurate there ain't.
I was under the impression that.
Now wait. Okay, hold what you just said right there. Okay, once you pitch forward and now let's say you're at 15 degrees. Okay, forward pitch. Now you're 15 degrees forward pitch. Yes. As long as you don't change your pitch, you should now be able to adjust the throttle so it will stay level. Yes, I agree with that.
Right.
Then, with that same degree of throttle, if you pitch back level again, the bird will go up.
Right.
Okay, well, that's the whole point I was trying to
No,
make.
but you said throttle does two things.
It does, in that the amount of throttle you add or take away is less sensitive the more pitch forward you're going, because now it's doing two things. It's doing forward propulsion as well as lift.
I thought
Pitch,
the forward was due to the pitch.
Listen, all pitches is the
Hey,
attitude
Crystal,
props in the air.
I
And
thought pitch was it.
the more you do that, the more the throttle does two things. It adds speed and it provides lift at the same time. It's more mixed. Just like the higher your angle is, the more you have to coordinate roll with yaw. It's the same thing. The controls start mixing depending upon your attitude of flight.
Your altitude.
Not just your not just your altitude, your attitude of the bird, level versus pitch forward, pitch to the side, whatever.
I'm saying hi to Crystal.
Hi, Crystal. This is just me. Look, I come at this from having flown small birds, fixed wings, and all of that. And quads are really very much the same as a fixed wing, in that as you're playing.
Well, no, now you just added yaw when you did this. We're talking
Control,
about going.
the controls mix. That's all I'm trying to express. The controls,
Yeah, I agree.
depending upon whether you're sideways like this.
Well, that changes everything.
More throttle does what? It moves that way.
Yeah, but it has to do with the yaw now, or the roll.
Yaw,
Rather.
roll,
The roll. Not your
roll.
roll.
It's all in there. It's all three-dimensional. Hey, Crystal, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know, we're just throwing some flying theory out there, you know. I mean, that's the way it seems to me. Let's put it that way. When I fly, you know, a lot of times I for instance, with my quad, I love to bank it and turn like a plane.
Well, you can't help but do that.
Well, you can
Unless you're in stability mode, maybe. Or if you're in a GPS drone, then you'll turn flat.
But I mean, it's just like, okay, just like making a tight turn.
No, I understand what you're saying, but any GPS bird will turn. A GPS drone will turn flat for the most part.
No, I've flown GPS drones.
So anything in acro, you have to lean, which is like an airplane.
But then to pull it around quicker, once it's sideways like this, put in a little pitch back a little bit, and it'll pull right around. I call it the pull around. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a better word for that, but you tilt that baby like on its side, and you pitch back, and it'll just whoop, come around like that. It's cool. I call it the pull around.
All right.
So
I'm not going to argue with that.
Basically, you pull the front around. It's just like in a plane. When you bank left, you pull the stick back, which would give up if you're flying level. But if you're flying like this, it pulls the front around or shoves the tail back, one or the other. The end result is the same.
It's a U-turn, but you have to be going forward.
Yes. You don't do any backwards flying in a plane. Unless
you're crashing.
I have watched a plane fly backwards before, but it was a very windy day, and it was a Piper Cub. And this is a real plane now, but the wind was blowing like, I don't know, 50 miles an hour or something like that. And the stall speed on a Piper Cub, I think, is 40 miles an hour. So he was flying into the wind and just staying above stall speed. So he was going backwards.
Oh, I see.
It was very cool. It was cool shit looking. Like, man, you got some nerve doing that.
Hmm.
I have not been paying any attention to chat.
They're talking amongst themselves. Crystal
Well,
came in.
they're here.
RC Crazy says, I came to learn something and I got more confused. I think he said that a few chats up. And he's talking about his Bebop being able to bank.
The Bebop is pretty cool. Which one do you have, John? Is it the one or the two? The first Bebop flight I saw, and I haven't seen him. I've seen him lately, but he hadn't put any videos up. There's a bird in the hand, and he did. He had a Bebop 2, and he had gotten FPV goggles for him, and that was the most amazing flight I ever saw. And that thing would zip along pretty cool. But that Typhoon H is pretty bad too. I haven't seen it do any bank turns, but hey, Cook, when you gonna trick that thing out, make it do some accurate? Hey, Crystal,
Hey, Crystal.
I banged up Mad Dog 1 yesterday.
Gave it boo-boos.
Yeah, big boo boo. I broke its back. Poor little guy.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, well, you know, it happens if you fly quads. These things happen, you know.
I still don't buy that if you're not crashing, you're not flying.
Well,
I hate that saying personally. But I understand where people are coming from. But it's only in this hobby where crashing means you're getting better almost.
no, it just means you're trying new things. And when you try new things, stuff happens. I always wonder about these people that do these stunts, and it's like, how did they ever get this far without breaking something already, you know? I don't know, Eric. It's a little different. I don't know. I know you keep telling me about the JB Weld. I think I'll just wait on the new frame. Should be here in 3 days or so. I got to figure out what's wrong with the Mobula too, man. That's freaking me out.
What's the matter with it? Or what doesn't it do? It doesn't start up?
No, it started up just fine, but I'm getting no video from it.
Ah.
So I'm thinking when I replace the flight controller, I'm hoping just the yellow wire came loose, because since the other bird was crashed, I was trying to make it 6 days in a row that I flew. Maybe I'll take the hub thing up tonight. And so I plugged it in, got the radio all set for it, you know, got the channel tuned in, and had good video. And then I took off. I got 10 feet away, and all of a sudden the screen went black. So I tried resetting things. I thought, okay, maybe it's the goggles. I let the battery get too low in the Vipers or whatever. But changed battery.
How low do you go? Just under 7 volts, like 6.9? Or does yours get red when it's time to change the voltage?
No.
You haven't noticed that?
I'm running mine off a 4S battery.
Yeah, but it's the voltage. What's your voltage? What do you go down to? 6.9?
it gets down to 14.5 volts, I'm charging the battery because it's a 4S battery. You're not supposed to run them lower than that.
I go to 6.9 volts. I use the Fat Shark.
Because you're using a 2S battery. It's okay to run a 2S battery that low. You don't want to run a 4S battery that low.
Oh, I understand what you're saying now. I got you. Yeah. Makes sense. 14.2 with 4S, I think.
Trust me, Mike. I run that mine down to 13 and below before, but as long as it takes my butt to land, I usually about 14.5 volts. I'm ready. Okay, I need to think about setting this bird down.
I aim for
Because
14.2.
along the way, I'm going to goose it one more time or whatever, and that was the whole thing. That
80%.
80%.
80%. Damn.
That's a little high, Rob.
Actually, no. That's what 3.7, 3.6 per cell.
Well, no, he's talking milliamp hours. He's not talking volts.
That's what I'm saying. When I recharge my batteries and I check the voltage, it's at 10, 12%. So I'm going down almost 90, 80, 90%.
He's saying only so in other words, don't take it below 20%. Rob, quit talking backwards. You never go high voltage because you have to add. Look, I recently revisited this, by the way, because I have 6 packs for Mad Dog 1 now, and they're all different. Actually, I have 2 batteries that are the same, 2 1300s that are the same, and 2 1500s that are the same. Then I have another new 1500 that is the China Hobby line, and it's 120C. It's a brick. I mean, they're all bricks, but this one's real brick compared to the others. And so they're all different. But I revisited the voltage thing after my Saturday flight because on the big fat one, the 120C, I kept wondering when it was going to run out of juice. I'm like, is this thing ever going to run down? But then on a couple punches, I just got just a flash of low battery. And then as soon as I calmed down, it'd go away. And then I flew a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, the voltage started, dropping like a rock. That battery was done. So I revisited the battery warning settings on that particular bird and upped it a couple tenths of a volt. Because if you got plenty of packs, there's no reason to run them too low. So now
So how low do you take your 4S batteries to?
Okay. So you mean the Ma used, I guess, Rob.
I think what he's saying is that KISS uses milliamps instead of volts. I think that's what Night Train said.
Yeah. Well, I guess the thing is, okay, Rob, where do you get those numbers from? Because see, I know you go in the beta flying. I guess if you fly all the same Ma batteries, it's okay.
Because he's flying KISS. I think that's what it's about.
Well, in beta flight, you can set how many Ma, and even actually have it in your OSD, how many Ma you have flown. But that requires you to program into the beta flight the milliamp hour rating of the battery you were flying. So what? If you switch 1300 and a 1500, the numbers aren't going to be the same. Yeah, I know KISS isn't beta flight. I understand that. But the concept is the same. I mean, how does it know? You still have to tell KISS how many milliamp hours the battery has. Oh, KISS is smarter than that. How is that possible? Okay. So I got this random battery, which I don't have one at my hand, but somehow KISS knows, oh, this is a 1500, not a 1000 milliamp battery. How does it know that? Sounds like we have some KISS fanatics around here. Not that I don't mind a good KISS now and then myself, but I guess it's easy to do then, to change the battery size. So I got you. So it's like smart audio, but KISS style. So you can mess with
Kiss
all
audio, right?
KISS audio. Okay.
We
Well, I
learned
mean,
something today.
they'll have that ability. You know, that's pretty cool. See, I'm old, Rob. I don't know about all that fancy dancy stuff. It took somebody 3 years older than me to tell me about smart audio. So not that I ever use it. I still don't ever use it.
You don't use it at all
Nah.
to check to make sure you're on the right channel with your goggles?
No, I kind of know them by now.
All right.
So I know if it picked it up right or whatever. But see, here's the other thing, Carl. It's the first time I remember us doing it here. I was doing it with the Batman.
Right.
And when I did it, it came up with Boss Cam and Fat Shark and something
Right.
else. And I don't know how
Racing.
that relates to what I'm used to relating to, because I'm used to relating to channel A, channel B, channel.
Boss Cam is A. It
Okay.
says it. It says it'll say Boss Cam A and then Boss Cam B and then Fat Shark could be C Racing and then I don't know something I can't remember right now. But it does say A after the Boss Cam.
Now, see, Mike, I like my OSD.
I like it too. Ed, I'm gonna be on the side having a bowl of oatmeal,
Okay.
but I'll be here. All right. I'm just cutting the video so
All
I
right,
can hear you.
bro.
I see you, Ed. Can you see me?
Well, see, Carlos. Now, and I need to do the same thing. Is that there needs to be a picture there
I
when
know.
your camera off. So you figure out how to do that. You tell me how to do it so I can do the same, because I got the same thing when I turn my camera off. It's just a blinking circle with volume lines around it.
That's what I'm doing now.
What does it sound like, Mike? You love to start up? How many kiss birds you got, Mike? So I guess Rob, or your birds are obviously kiss. The Star Wars thing, pretty cool. Hey, Sean, how you doing, brother? You're rolling with Pink Floyd and the Hawk 5, are you? Your whole family is Kiss, okay. Yeah, I'm a big fan too. That's right. You have the flaming guy on your what movie is that from? Not movie, album, I should say. Well, I mean, that makes sense, Rob. You know, you and Naomi. I mean, that's the best thing ever. I love it that the two of y'all fly. Hey, Mike, I'll tell you this. I hope I look half as good as you were looking tonight when I'm half dead. Let's put it that way. No, that's not the dark side of the moon. I mean, I love that album, Carlos. Um, and actually, Carlos, that is the first album I ever bought. The Dark Side
That's,
of the
you know what? I was just going to say the same thing, Ed. That's the first album I ever owned, Dark Side of the Moon, 1976. I think it was 76, 77, somewhere like
All
that.
right, I don't know what it had already been out when I bought it. I'm not saying it was a new release.
No,
I,
I'm just saying that was the first time I came. Somebody bought it for me when I went to Florida to visit my dad because I liked it so much.
well, back in the day, like I was probably like 15 or 16 when I bought that album.
Did they have record players back then?
Actually, who was it? Was it Edison or whoever that invented the record player? So yeah, they were around back then. So
Making sure.
you know, screw you, Rob. So anyway, your first was Motley Crue. Down the devil. Oh, well, at least you bought it on vinyl, Rob. Yeah, it is. I like Shine on Your Crazy Diamond. That's how I feel about the friend I buried, went to a service. We'll see, it'll be three weeks this Saturday. But him and I went on some hellacious road trip. We had some amazing adventures. And he's like 3 months older than me, and makes one think about your own mortality, you know. Your first lunchbox was a kiss like lunchbox, right? That's funny. I don't remember what my first lunchbox was. Lord knows. I'd probably be embarrassed to admit it.
To admit what?
What my first lunchbox had on it. I don't know what it was. I
Dr.
probably.
Seuss?
Oh, well, who knows? I love Dr. Seuss, by the way.
Not for nothing. I was too poor to get a lunchbox. We used bags. Brown paper bag.
Brown paper bags, exactly. Ugh. They didn't even have kindergarten when I was growing up, Mike. There were no daycares, any of that. There were a lot of stay-at-home moms back then, to be honest with you. My mom was a stay-at-home mom until I was, I don't know, 10, 11, something like that.
It's a rare breed nowadays, Ed.
Okay, Eric, you just keep going on, brother. Let me making fun of your butt one day. Wow, really? you know, and there was no, no. You need to learn English. This is America. No, there was none of that. None of that.
You learn American, you learn English.
No, I was growing up. Mid-70s is when I was starting to party hardy Marty at Mike. Let's see, mid-70s, that'd be 75. Yeah, about right. 15, 16. That's when I freed my mind, kind of, so to speak. I went all hippie, grew my hair long, all that.
You had long hair?
Oh, yeah.
Really? You were a hippie at the time?
I was a hippie. And, really, the Munsters? What? Because of Miss Willie?
What's the matter with the Munsters?
Later, Mr. Crowley. That's because Aunt Lily liked to show cleavage. And the thing is, Mike, especially where you're at, I'm getting scraggly again. But I'm telling you, this stuff on your face does help with the wind chill. It does.
I think Herman was a little gay, personally.
Who?
Herman Munster.
Yes. Now that you
Or maybe
say
the best word is effeminate.
I
Effeminate.
can see it. I can see it.
Maybe the better word is effeminate.
I can see that. Yeah. That's okay. You thought Luis was younger than you, Eric? I gotta look back up. Where does Paduga reveal his age? Oh, born in 76.
Wait, Eric is under 40 years old, right?
Yeah, Eric is older than he knows. So you were born in 76, Lewis? Let's see, how old does that make you? My math is
Makes
horrible.
him 43.
86, 96, 2006.
43.
Yeah. Damn, you're only 43. Sorry, Lewis.
Ed, don't take your clothes off to count to 21.
Huh?
Don't take your clothes off to count to 21.
Well, whatever. Knock on the door to 40, okay. Look, man. Look, I'll tell you all right now. I wish I'd give anything to be 40 again. I had a lot of life left in me back then. Not so much anymore.
My best year was 28 years old.
You know what, Carlos? It's interesting you say that because I can't really say a best age, but I can say more a best age range. And I would say between about 24 to 29.
Yeah.
In there. And you know what was happening when I consider the best years of my life? I was sailing. I was sailing a Hobie Cat.
That's cool. Is that a cat? I was going to say. Did you ever get it leaning on, up on one pontoon or whatever you want to call those things?
I did that all the time, brother.
Did you?
That's called flying.
That's
And
cool.
Those were truly the best times of my life. And it was kept you in great shape too, man, because pulling on them ropes, that builds some body strength in you. So, no, it was just, and flying drones kind of brings back some of that same exhilaration.
I hear you.
And so that's why I love it so much. Keeps me vertical, as they say. But I'd love to have another Hobie Cat. And what really sucks is I wish I had the means to record some of the sailing I did back then. But, video cameras back then were cumbersome. Most were not. That you had to pay a lot of money to get one that was waterproof.
I was just gonna say, and not waterproof or
And
resistant.
and then I was the one sailing, so that would make it, that would make it even harder to do because how you operate a bulky ass video camera of the day while you're trying to sail the damn boat, So
You would have to plant it somewhere.
yeah, exactly. That's
Ed,
what
how long are those pontoons? Is that the right word? Pontoons?
yeah.
How long are they? 18 feet, 20 feet?
The
Less?
Hobie 18, which is the boat that I had,
Oh, 18 feet?
was the pontoons were 18 feet.
Okay, makes sense.
The mast was 27 feet high.
Wow.
And it would run like a scalded dog. The two rudders in the back, I've had rooster tails coming off of them. I've passed power boats. And been going so fast that water sprayed halfway up the mast that, like I said, was 27 feet tall. So,
Wow.
sailed when a hurricane went by. I've had some adventures on the old Hobie Cat. And 95% of the people that sailed with me loved to go again. Now, there were about 5% that would never step foot on it again. But
You have a skateboard, Ed?
no, I would break my arm.
Rollerblade?
I did do rollerblades at one time. I would probably break my arm on those too. You know what I think is cool? Have you seen these things? They're like
The two wheels that people balance on?
not okay. It's
Like a Segway?
it's like the Segway, but instead it's like a skateboard.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
it only has one tire.
Oh, that one? Yeah. A
One
unit something.
tire, and I guess the battery and the motor is
I've
inside the
seen that. I don't know how they do it.
but they do the same balancing thing,
Mm-hmm.
and those things cruise right along, man. You see, downtown St. Augustine, here where I'm at, is like, old village kind of stuff. It's a tourist attraction, but it's made for segways. I mean, it's perfect for segways or things like that. It's great for bicycles too.
Right.
Um,
I don't even know how you would start on something like that. Like to get on it, you'd have to hold on to a pole or something, right?
Either I've never watched. I've seen people cruising along on them, but I've never seen them mount or dismount. So I don't know
Right.
how it works. I've seen people get on and off the segways, and that looks fairly easy.
Believe it or not, it's not. The two-wheeled ones, I tried that for the first time. I almost fell on my ass.
Okay.
Now they have three-wheeled ones I've seen.
Oh,
I mean, once you get it, then you're good.
no fair.
I'm not sure what a fair fight is. Does that mean no bottles or no knives? Because if I had to, I'd stick my finger in your eye to get you off of me. What's a fair fight? Yeah. Oh, okay. They're talking about hands, just hands. I had a kid once. He had me in a headlock. I stuck my finger in his eye from around, and he let go real quick.
Let's see. Okay, I see Rob and Prop Gear going on about the fair fights, and why do people even get in fights? So unnecessary.
Because we're kids, and kids, that's what we do. I don't think he's talking about as an older, older guy.
I don't know. Now you hear about it all the time. They just shoot at each other.
Right.
I mean, there's blood spilled just 30 miles north of here every night. Somebody getting shot.
Where, by you?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm just saying where I grew up. Okay, where I live in St. Augustine is about 30 miles south of where I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. And now all you hear about is shooting all the time. I mean, there's at least a shooting at night, pretty much. If there isn't a shooting at night, it equals out to where there's a shooting at night, because on a night that there isn't a shooting, there's two the next night. So,
Got to make up for the missed one?
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes there's interest to be paid. But, they were talking about a fair fight. Nobody, there's no honor in kicking somebody's ass now. They just shoot at them. And probably while driving by in a damn car. I mean, get the hell out of there. And that's just not fair. The other person needs to have a chance to at least get a shot off at you, what the hell?
That's not a good fight if you get hit. But I hear you. Excuse me, Ed. I needed to munch some oatmeal.
That's okay.
Oh,
Glad to have you back. And you never really left. We got
just
a
no picture
from your mug is all. So you need to tell me how to set up the profile picture in StreamYard, Carlos.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Never mind.
Show you how to do what picture?
So when you turn off your camera,
yeah,
there's an actual picture there.
Yeah, you just touch just stop the, what is it here? It says audio, video, flip, chat, leave. I just touched the video symbol. Like
I'm
this.
sure it's probably in settings or something. You probably have to see.
Are you using a computer? You're using your computer, right?
Yeah.
Click on the blue part on the screen and see if you get any sub emojis on the bottom. Nothing comes up. You got rid of me. There I am.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. No, I think you misunderstand what I'm trying to accomplish here.
You want to just have audio and no picture?
No, I know how to do that.
Okay, so then what did you say?
I want to have, okay, here's the deal. When I do this, when I do that, I want there to be a picture there of me, even though I'm not moving or anything.
Oh, but I don't know if you could do that.
I am instead of just this round circle with shoulders. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? And
yeah, you want a still of yourself.
I know you can do it. I just don't know how.
Oh, you can?
I'm sure I can't imagine. Oh, maybe you got to pay for it before you get to do that.
But Ed, you have a memorable face, so when you're not there, we still remember what you look like.
Yeah, I know, that's true. Some people probably want to forget my face. Is he, Lewis? Lewis, I hope you're done wrapping the car. I hope you at least you put on some primer coat by now, for God's sake.
Actually, now if you hit your kids, they go to school and the teachers freaking report you if they even mention it.
Hey,
ACS Children's Services.
what? Oh, it's wrapped. So they have water-based
For cars?
paint now, Lewis? How does that work? Oh, yeah, it looks great. Just don't
Paint
go
by
out
numbers.
in the rain.
I think he does auto body, right? Or paints cars.
Yeah, he paints cars.
Paint by numbers. I like that one.
There was a movie somewhere where I can't even begin to think. It was an action adventure movie. Robbery, something like that.
What about?
Where they paint the car, I guess with water-based paint, and they go rob the bank or whatever they're doing, whatever nefarious activity they're involved in. And then they go run their garage and they got this handy dandy pressure washer there and they pressure wash the car and voila, the car is a different color.
Have you heard of this? I don't know if you want to call it paint or whatever, but you put decals and you can change the whole color of your car with like some kind of vinyl. And then they even have like chameleon paint. Depending on what angle you look at it, it changes color.
I've seen that. I have seen I've never heard it called chameleon paint.
Well, it's
But
chameleon because it changes colors.
now, see, okay. Now, you wait for this. May not be here yet, but I'm telling you, it's coming.
What?
And this is where you have a paint job on your car and it's electronically controlled where you can change it at whim.
Yeah, that's you've been watching too much Star Trek.
I'm telling you, man, it's right there. We are right there.
Yeah, it depends on the angle.
Oh, yeah,
think,
alien. See, look, Mike, don't give Eric too many ideas. Because one of the things is talk about fixing this bird, building that bird, and it's like, oh, I gotta paint it first. By the time Eric gets done doing all this customizing, painting crap he wants to do, it'll be another year before he builds the damn bird.
No, but I think you can paint the car with like some kind of I don't know, vinyl or something. What do you think, Baduga? Am I right or wrong? Easy peel. Maybe that's what it is.
Eric, if you got to paint it, then get on the stick and paint it then, for goodness sake. For quad's sake.
What does he want to paint? His quad?
He wants to paint the frame before he puts it together. I'm like,
Why?
okay, he needs to start painting then. He keeps using excuses not to build, man. It's driving me crazy. I want to drive up to New York and choke him. Stellar Blue sounds pretty cool, Mike.
I would do something bright so when it's in the grass, you can see it.
Good point. You know what's funny is, okay, this little bird right here, this little guy right here, I armed it one time and it just went straight out back. straight out back to, well, you've seen where I fly. It went straight out back, hit a tree, and went down in the woods beyond. And I found it because of the props that were on it.
I
And
get bright color props.
They were green props. Everybody said, green props? Those wouldn't show up in the woods. If the sun hits them right and they're a different color green than what the natural green is, yeah, they show up. Because they were like almost fluorescent.
I wouldn't consider painting a frame. I don't know.
Now, Luis Baduga, you have a good point. I am a horrible procrastinator, and you are right about that, brother. And you called a spade right there, brother. So, you know what it is? What it is, Baduga, is I gotta make Eric look worse at putting shit off than I do, because it makes me feel better. And then, of course, eventually we do get around to it. Now, see, Carlos has to run down to Maryland and get Chris to do it for him.
Nope. It's called the post office. 2 days. 3
Okay,
top.
whatever. You're still sending it off to the mechanic. So.
What do you do with your car? You fix it yourself?
Well, it depends upon what it needs. I'll change the tire.
Good one, Ed.
Look, Carlos, I just poking fun, man.
I know, but it's all about having the tools also. I don't want to do it. I'll end up breaking something.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how little I've burned stuff up in the process of repairing. So I understand, Carlos. I do.
I'm just
it's rather daunting, actually. It's like with the Mobula 7, when I went to change the board on it, I was terrified.
After how long having it too?
Yeah, I was terrified, man. And one day I just thought, I'm going to do this, and I was so shocked that it worked.
And how would you feel if you did it and you got the magic smoke? Wouldn't that like just crush you up?
Oh, absolutely.
So I avoid that, and he helps me out.
No, again, like I said, I get it. I get it.
It's not my forte.
A man has to know his limitation.
I think so. I mean, I can live with it. That's why I do have 7, different things that I can fly now.
Yeah, okay. Rub it in, maggot.
No, it has nothing to do with rubbing it in. I'm just.
I know.
That's how I cover my ass.
So you can always fly if you have the urge.
Exactly.
And that's important. And that's the thing, man, is having the urge and knowing you can. Versus
right.
Somehow it's worse if
if
you don't necessarily have the urge that day, but just knowing that whether you have the urge or not, you can't fly.
Right.
So.
I think we just got joined by Swift Fox, right?
Hey, Swift Fox, how you doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just having beers. I'm trying to chillax because I wasn't able to fly today. I made an attempt, but I wasn't able to fly today. Yeah, Old Park. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Who's old?
Oh,
Is he calling us old?
you could have come in. I put a link up here. You could have come in and
Does Quad Farm know how old I am? I'm only 48.
well, by Rob's standards, you would still be an Old Park.
How old is he? Is he 40 yet? No.
He told us earlier he's 27.
He's not 27. Quad Farm has a child that's 20 years old. He's not 27. He might look it.
He started
About,
puberty was young with him.
he's not 27. Quad Farm's got to be mid-30s to almost 40. He just looks good for his age. How old are you, Quad Farm? 40, 46. All right. There you go.
He told us
He's
earlier.
He's pushing 50, Ed.
Oh, pushing 50, is he?
He's 46.
Yeah, a couple more years you can say pushing.
Well, he's over the hump
46.
of mid-40s. But he does look good for his age, I will say that. He's like Chris. Chris doesn't look his age either.
How old is Chris?
He'll be 47 this month, next month?
No, he doesn't look his age.
Not at all. He has a baby face. Drink is gone. Where's my oil?
47 in January, huh, Swift? Well, yeah, I'm past the point of
You know
care.
what? That is so true. What Quad Farm just wrote. You know why old people dress funny? Because after a while, you just don't give a shit what people think. You just wear what's comfortable.
I've said this for years. I am what I am.
Well, that's besides the point. It's sometimes we just, you dress to impress people you don't even know or like. I don't know. Now I'm function over fashion, not fashion over function. Although I've been like that.
What do you mean, Swift Fox? You mean you just got ID'd yesterday? What? Somebody ID'd you yesterday and you're 47? They must have just been new on the job. What were you buying? That's funny as hell. That's funny. If you're 47 and you get carded, it's like a compliment now, It's like, for buying cigarettes.
You want to hear something funny, Ed? My mother talks about it all the time. She brags about it. She's 85 and she gets ID'd because they don't believe she's senior citizen. They don't believe she's over 65, and she loves sharing that story.
That's pretty cool. You ought to bring her on live sometime, Carlos.
I did once. Don't you remember for the birthday?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But she's across the street.
You're taxing my memory, but I think I remember that and was shocked that you
Yeah, her and my sister were both on.
Look like, man, she looked like she's in her 50s.
Yep. And no extra work done. Eric's saying good night, Ed.
Later, Eric. Thanks for paying attention, Carlos.
That's what I'm here for. Trying to keep you company.
An older guy. I keep seeing these. No, it's probably been 20 years or better since I've been carded too, Rob. But
yeah, right. More like 30 years.
And they'll go through periods. I actually, there's some places they card anybody. Walgreens does that.
My sister works at City Field. You can look like 60 and they still card you
Yeah,
to buy a beer.
that's just their policy.
Right.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I actually, instead of saying, are you kidding me? I'm like, oh, well, thank you. Here you go.
Did you see what Night Train wrote? Ed is so old, his eyebrows went gray on him.
Are they gray? Damn. I'm going to be looking in the mirror now. They do look kind of gray right there at the edges. The camera being backwards drives me crazy, man. It messes me up
Stage
bad.
right.
You know?
Stage right.
So, look, Louise, where are you at in this painting thing? What are you doing? You can't be getting much accomplished.
He's a union worker, maybe.
Maybe he's watching paint dry. I guess that can be a little boring.
Do they still use ultraviolet lights to dry paint or something like that? UV light? Have you ever heard of that? Those booths?
I think maybe I should get some Just for Men for my eyebrows, Mike. What do you think?
A zombie. Does it say bawling or bailing?
I think he's saying he's bailing. And I don't blame him because it's 10 o'clock here and he's 5 hours ahead of us.
That's it?
Yeah, I thought it was 6 for some reason. Hey, Baduga, what time is it there? I think it's 3 a.m. 3:10 a.m. So please correct me. But that's early. Yeah, 3 a.m. There you go. So it's 5 hours. So I'll be, I think in November is when daylight savings time starts.
Yeah.
And
spring ahead, fall behind.
Excuse me, when we go back to regular time. We're in daylight savings time now, actually.
How do you remember that?
Yeah, I get it backwards. So we will fall behind. So then you will be 6 hours ahead, Bazooka. Unless you have daylight savings time there at some time too. There's somewhere it's like Australia or something. They do daylight savings time, but they do it opposite ends that we do it.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, and it's not lined up with theirs, so there's like a month difference, or at least a couple weeks, to where we're way out of sync. And that's the land down under where Mars is at. And
I think he's 14 hours ahead, maybe 15 now.
well, it changes. That's what I'm getting. That's why it's so
Yeah.
confusing, because we change at different times.
It's like their toilet bowl flushes in the other direction.
And like Lewis just said, that they change 1 week later than we do. Oh yeah, and a Birdman, they have it's crazy. Australia has like 5 freaking time zones, I think. It's good. It's a big ass country.
You're right. Did you see what RC just wrote?
Well, John, I guess I ain't old yet, because I haven't noticed gray ones down there. Not that I regularly inspect them, but I think I would notice if I had some gray hairs down there.
Oh, that's funny.
What is it? I guess then I can call myself Gandalf the Grey. fly, you fools.
That's funny. Characters, I tell you.
I thought you were leaving, Bazooka. You're still here. You just can't leave it. You know you love us, man.
Better entertainment than TV.
Yeah, well, that's not a very high bar right there, brother. At least from what I've seen.
Oh, better is better.
Well, because you can't talk to the people on TV.
That's true too.
Bailing from work.
Damn, who works till
You
3 in the
work-
morning?
Look, you bailed to work earlier in the day too. Hey, look, sometimes, Louis, you're on, sometimes you're off. It's just like flying. Everybody here that flies, you know that. You go out to fly and just sometimes it doesn't click the same. You make an effort to fly or whatever, but it's just not there. You know what I mean?
It's kind of true what Quad Farm is saying. You tell the story and you realize, I already told this person that. Either that or you're telling it too often, you forget who you tell it to. But that's true.
Well, you know, Rob, sometimes a good story bears repeating. And sometimes it doesn't. Okay. So, hey, look, when are you doing those towers again? Those silo thingies? And also, I was going to gig you on that too, by the way, Bazooka, because you shared that a little piece of that via Messenger, but then you said you lost the footy because you forgot your SD card. Well, where did the footy that you shared come from? Where's that footy?
GoPro?
All I know is he shared a little clip of diving these silo thingies. And I said, well, when are you posting that video?
Oh,
Well,
DVR.
what? So what's wrong with the DVR, man? You had it all up there. Come on, we want to see it.
Ed, you use a Firefly, right?
Yeah. I was very disappointed, although not surprised, that my crash yesterday was not recorded by the Firefly.
Because you didn't press the button?
No, it was recording when it took off.
Did
But
you run out of...
the Firefly has this little problem that if it takes a hard whack, it stops recording and does not record the footage that was already, ready to be saved. And that's the second time it's happened to me. And both were with Hard Knock. I've crashed it before. When I crashed it in the tree where I had to use the bucket truck to get it out,
Mm-hmm.
it recorded 60 minutes of video before the battery ran out.
Oh, wow.
And the first, because it does it in 15-minute increments, so the first 3 15-minute videos were fine until it ran out of battery. But when it ran out of battery, it didn't, because it was in the process of recording and it just died, that file went away. And it's the same thing with my crash yesterday. When it crashed hard, it quit recording and the file went away. So I'm very disappointed at that. And I have a different kind of camera I will put on it in the future.
Have you ever seen those run cams for $99?
No.
It's the same size as the GoPro.
Okay, and it's like an HD recording camera.
Yeah.
Okay. I nature calls. You got it,
Thanks for
Carl.
sharing. So
Well,
just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, it
why?
takes them longer to find it than to actually go to the bathroom, just for the record. Quad Farm. Thanks. Those GoPro sessions are expensive, and to risk crashing, oof. No thanks. I thought they were the same size, Mike. For $100. How'd you do that? Off a truck? I don't know, $100 for a camera to put videos up on YouTube, I guess. If you're into it. I'm too cheap.
Wow. My back teeth were floating.
I haven't heard that in a long time. Wow.
So, who was it? Somebody said something about here about a session. I think it was a session 5 for $50. Refurbished or whatever. Yeah, well, hey, Rob, 30 miles is a long way for me. You know, and I don't get out much. They don't let me out much.
That work release program, right? Shakira. She's all right. She's gonna be with what's her name? J-Lo. The Super Bowl. I think she's part Egyptian, Shakira.
Where's the Super Bowl happening? I don't pay it much.
I don't pay attention to sports. Yep. That's true.
You know, Lewis, that's a good point, and I guess that's why I never really invested in a nice HD cam. Most expensive HD cam I put on my bird has been $32. And yeah, okay, Swift Fox, I understand. Oh,
Yeah.
you got one, do you?
Yep. Just
Look
waiting
at
for the mount.
look, I'll tell you my one complaint with a Firefly, and maybe that one's different.
It's the
But
sun. When you fly into the sun or shade, I've noticed that with your videos. The sun has to be directly above.
I switched to my DVR footage. Yes, and it's way worse when it's like when the sun's going down.
Yeah.
And when I was doing the trees out back, I kept switching to the FPV cam because it was doing a better job than the HD cam was. Oh, it's in Miami. Okay. Well, you know that's gonna be a party there, John.
All those
I lived
freaking weekends,
I
right?
lived down I lived down south. I lived in Deerfield Beach for a number of years.
Hey, you
And
know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I managed a store down in Miami off Biscayne Boulevard. Drove
Is that
there.
the one? That the one where they turn the AC up high?
No, that's the thing.
Hey, Ed, you know what? Swift Fox, excuse me. Put an LD filter on it. Have you ever considered, because Mino Fly said something to this effect, you know the tinted window wrapper? Can you cut a little piece out and put it on your Firefox?
You know, that's a possibility, and I've thought about that.
He said he's done that.
All right, Lewis, I hope you meet your deadline, Baduga.
Yeah, I got to be up at 4 a.m. What's that? 5.5 hours? Got to go into Manhattan. Yay.
Got 4 hours, so yeah. Well, he's got a deadline, I guess, on the car he was playing around with tonight. I guess it's got to be ready by noon tomorrow. So thanks for stopping by, Baduga. Appreciate you, brother.
You see, Quad Farm agrees. You can use that like a window tint wrap, I don't know, whatever that is, paper, wrapper, foil. Get the same effect.
So, hey, Rob, there's a number to that. What's the number you use? Is it the 8 or what's the number? Because I hear about.
Isn't that like 30%, 40% blockage of sun or whatever? Doesn't it go like that?
I'm not sure if that's exactly what it means. I know that with the camera birds, the ND8 is supposed to be the most neutral.
Oh, okay. Swift Fox is saying good night, Ed.
Later, Swift Fox. Been a pleasure. Thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure. I'm sounding rather hoarse anyway. I probably run my course.
Clear your throat.
Let's see, how many did you get, Rob? If there's more than one, then there must be different values to them. Or else
Yeah,
why
30%, 40%, 50%, and that's what it blocks. As far as cars.
Later, Swift Fox. Peace to you too, brother.
Adios. You don't have any junk cars with peeling? He disappeared. With peeling, what do they call that? Tinted windows?
How many what?
Any cars in the reservation that aren't being used and the window tint is bubbling?
I don't pay attention to what their window tint is doing. I just I'll notice there's one where I start when I went out this morning, like there was one with the hood up, and then I walked by, I realized there's not even a damn engine in this thing. Yeah, I mean, it's a real boneyard out there. I'll tell you that.
It's a Flintstone mobile.
And it's like it's funny because I think in my last, I don't know if it's my last video or the one before, but I mean, you can see how for anyone that pays attention, I mean, I pay attention because I fly the damn field. It's like, oh shit, there's something else I got to keep from running into.
I've seen boats and construction vehicles, kinds of good stuff.
So, but it moves around. You go fly one day and all of a sudden the next day, oh, where did this come from?
How many people live on that reservation? How many different,
Let's see.
six,
Well,
7?
No. There's one guy that way. The landlord's kind of across the street now, so really only 2.
Oh, really? Okay. Boy, he's got a lot of stuff for only 2 people.
None of it's my stuff.
No, I'm just saying, on the property.
It's all the landlord's crap.
Ed, John is saying good night.
Later, John.
Buenas noches. Buenos noches.
Well, at least you're older than them, John. Hey,
How
I'm
old
glad you're younger than me, brother.
How old is John? Is he 50 yet? Any idea, Ed? John, how old are you? Half a century? When you think about it. Right?
What sounds worse, half a century or 5 decades?
That's 6 1/2 dozen, but I don't know. I have to think about that one.
I mean,
I think half a century sounds worse.
I had to think about it a minute, but I think you're right. I have to go with half a century too.
Only because you can get away with some idiots that don't know how long a decade is. Almost 49. Okay.
Okay. Coming up on the big 50. And then you'll be half a century too, John.
That's it.
Well, John, just to tell you, from someone who is now 6 decades old, over half a century, 50 wasn't so bad.
Nope.
So be cool, brother. And sleep well, my friend. So, Carlos?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you coming in, brother. And
thanks for having me.
I think I'm gonna call tonight, get a little hoarse and run out of stuff to say, and everybody else probably tired too. And great to see y'all. Right, you can pop in for a minute, Rob, but that's okay. And hope you and all the goats and Naomi and the child are good.
Naomi.
Fox,
Okay.
good to see you. Paduga, sleep well. And y'all have a
Mike,
great freaking night.
Switchbox.
And,
All right, Ed. Talk to you soon.
all right,
smiling.
man. Sounds
good.
good. Later, brother.